welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm Krista Humphrey, and I am so excited that you're here. Today, I have a wonderful guest on the podcast who spends her time helping us know what to watch on TV, and it is the Lord's work. Let me tell you that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, did I say your name? It's Mary.
Hello. Hi. I was
Hi.
like, I don't know if I should be like, yeah, my name is Mary, by the way.
Yes, my name is Mary.
No,
yeah.
I love it.
Mary Arndt from I Just Want to Chat podcast and Instagram. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always, my Instagram and stuff, isn't really about, mom content at all. It's just about, TV and movies and pop culture. But I try to, slip in my mom stuff all the time because
Yeah.
I'm as a mom, obviously, you're always just dying to talk about your kids.
Totally. Yes.
But I'm always like, how much is too much? So going on, a motherhood-focused podcast, even if it is just to talk about TV and movies, I'm pumped.
Yes,
I'm excited.
it's pumped. And you know what? I feel like TV, pop culture, all of that stuff is just such an integral part to, especially us millennial moms.
Oh, yeah.
And it just really keeps the day moving, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, somebody asked me recently, they're like, why do so many moms now just like Taylor Swift, out of the blue?
We're like,
And
no, honey.
first of all, out of the blue, some of us
Offensive.
went to school, middle school in 2006 and listened to Teardrops on my guitar all the time, you know?
Mhm. Downloaded it to our MP3 player that only had 7 songs.
Yes, got it off of LimeWire with
Yes.
the spam
Mhm.
things and got viruses on our computer. So
Sorry, Dad.
I started with that and I said first of all, this isn't a new thing, but second of all, I feel like a big part of being a mom, not lately, as of right now,
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time on your phone trying to connect with people online.
Yes.
And Taylor Swift has been such a point for connection with people.
Yes.
And even if you're not trying to make friends or talk to people online, there's been so much content. And
Yeah.
there's so many TikToks to watch and there's so much media to consume.
Yes.
And then that also applies to TV and movies. I feel I talk to a lot of film bros with what I do.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I know, so fun. I do know I've met some great people, but
Right.
the people that I like to talk to the most about movies and some of the people I think are the most into it, movies and TV are moms because of so many reasons, but you really need those cultural lifeboats
Yes.
to keep you afloat while you're wiping butts all day.
Oh, for sure. And there's, lots of downsides to social media, but isn't it cool that we can connect with other moms all over the world over this TV show that just came out or this reality TV scene that is going viral or whatever? I kind of love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I feel people yearn for a sense of community. And
Yes.
so often being a mom could be isolating.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really get into a show or really get into a movie,
Yeah.
there's community built in right there. And it's easy to find it.
Yes.
So anyway, this was a tangent. I don't even know how I got on here. I'm
No,
just
I love
excited
it.
to be here.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. And Mary, you run I Just Want to Chat Instagram. Tell us a little bit about what you do on that Instagram to bring the world the good shows and movies.
All right. So I'm very passionate about TV and movies. I know it sounds kind of dorky when I describe it, but I really believe that TV and movies are an art form. I think
Yeah.
that all media is art. And I really, really have always loved movies, TV, pop culture, celebrity gossip, everything that goes into making movies. And that's kind of what I've been trying to share with the world. I feel as a mom, when I first had my first baby, I was trying to find some kind of hobby or something to fill my time. I just needed something that had nothing to do with my kids or with my husband.
It was your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I really fell into my love of TV and my love of movies. It started with reality TV. I Just Want to Chat started as a Bachelor podcast.
Which I listened to in 2020. Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? I was one of your first people. Wait, when did you start it actually?
Back in 2017.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't then.
Well, but it started with, I was doing Snapchat recaps, Piper, my oldest, my 7-year-old.
Okay.
She was a newborn, and that coincided with Nick Viall's season of The Bachelor. And so I remember holding newborn Piper and getting on my Snapchat stories and recapping. So then those kind of started to take off, and I had new followers that I didn't know. And I'm oh, these people that don't know me want to follow me. And then I turned it into a podcast shortly after that. But yeah, so then ever since then, I've found like such fulfillment in watching good stuff.
Yes.
And then I just want to chat about it. I just really
Love
want to
that.
talk about
Talk
movies
about
and TV and
movies.
celebrities all day long.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's so important. Maybe that's something that we can talk about a little bit later is finding something for yourself during that time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a similar story where I found something during my first year of postpartum, needed something for myself. Okay, so we are going to do a couple of things today. So, number one, we are going to do rapid fire questions with Mary. And
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. It's going to be
But
so
in a
fun.
good way.
Yeah.
Good scared.
Yeah.
Anticipatory.
Anticipatory.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Second, we are going to chat all things what to watch when the kids are in bed.
Perfect.
So excited. I had Mary pick out a few of her favorites. We're going to talk about them. And then maybe we'll talk about hobbies in motherhood.
Yeah.
Just a little cherry on top.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a lot of questions for you. But the first one that's on my mind is, has becoming a mom changed your view of movies, TV, standards, like things like that? Because I personally, like a PG-13 was never allowed in my house growing up. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I know why now, because these people are crazy, you know? And we'll see. I have an 18-month-old, so we'll see when that comes. But has it changed for you? What have your...
Yeah, I mean, so I grew up I was allowed to watch anything. Like I didn't grow up in a
Nice.
religious house. I feel like I watched Pulp Fiction when I was like 5 or
Amazing.
6. Like I loved Rocky Horror when I was growing up. So I kind of like didn't really have that aspect of it. But what's been funny about like trying to show my kids these movies that like I grew up loving, I feel like my childhood was spent like I lived in Illinois for a little bit when I was a kid until I was 8. And we would drive out to Vegas every summer.
How
And
far is that?
as a 5 and 6-year-old, months.
Yeah, in the car.
But really,
yes.
I think it's like 3 or 4 days. But I just have like these memories of watching like these DVDs over and over and over and over again. And then, so like now I've been trying to show my 7-year-old like all these shows. And I'm like, oh wait, I watched this all the time when I was 7, but now I'm trying to show it to you because I watched it when I was your age. And this is like in no way appropriate.
Yeah.
What was anybody thinking?
I know. I'm like,
why
these
was I
jokes? Like,
why was I allowed to watch Josie and the Pussycats as a 6-year-old? Why was I Josie for Halloween in 2nd grade? Like,
that's so funny. I actually love that you were like exposed to all of that stuff though, because you were probably like really cultured as a little kid.
I mean, I do
watching all
like to
these
think
movies.
so. Like I found this paper. It was like a 3rd grade like survey type thing, and it was like a Mother's Day thing. Or Mother's Day, I don't know what it was, but it was at my mom's house.
Okay.
And it said like your favorite TV show, and I said True Hollywood Stories because
Amazing.
I was like, because like even as a 3-year-old, I was so into.
Wait, you were 3?
Oh my goodness, 3rd grader.
Okay. Whew. It's like, first of all,
Sorry.
you're writing. That's amazing.
No, I'm really talented.
She's like super genius.
3rd grader. I'm
That's
sorry.
amazing. Oh no, that's okay. That's awesome. I really like. I would
so
watch
maybe a
that
little
in
cultured.
secret. Like I would like sneak watch that.
Oh.
Yeah, and I would like sneak magazines under my bed because the girls were immodest, so I couldn't like have them. And I remember, oh my gosh, this is such an embarrassing story. I was babysitting, and the kid wanted to watch Spider-Man 2, but it's PG-13, and so I had to call my mom while I was babysitting.
What'd she say?
I think she said yes.
Yeah.
I think we watched it, but I was like, this is humiliating.
Oh my goodness. And I mean, I'm fairly liberal
Yeah.
with what I let my kids watch.
Yeah.
So I have 4 kids. I have Piper, who's 7, Leo is 5, Rooney is 3, she's almost 4, and August is 1. He's like 19 months now.
We have similar.
Yes.
You gave birth in January, I gave birth in February of 2023.
And Augie was due in February.
that's right.
But I
Yes.
have like complicated pregnancies, so
She's got a crazy heart.
Yeah, my heart sucks. But so I have to have all my babies early. Anyway, my oldest 2, I've been like pretty loosey goosey with what I let them watch. Like obviously, I try to use good judgment.
Yeah, that's
not a ton of language, but like my
Yeah.
daughter and I just watched all the Twilights, and that
amazing.
was like a moment that I think I'll remember for
Treasure.
forever. Well,
Yes.
Piper, unsure, because Piper was kind of like, what's happening?
She's like, the guy is sparkly.
Yeah.
Like, touche.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there was some fast forwarding going on
Yeah.
in a few of the movies. But
Yeah. You know what? I love that though. And whatever you need to do for your family, whatever
Mhm.
feels right for you, that's what I love about being a parent is
Yeah.
you are in charge of how your family runs.
Yeah. And I feel like it's so, like, I mean, I get asked about screen time and kids all the time. Like, that's probably one of my most, like, commonly asked questions, which always, like, kind of breaks me out into a cold sweat because I know nothing of childhood development
Yeah.
professionally or anything like that. But people always say, like, how do you, like, navigate screen time with your kids? And at least, like, for my husband and I, it's much more about, like, the quality
I love that.
of the shows. Like, I mean, I feel like media is gonna be a part of their life until the day that they die, and of course, like, I don't want them to just sit in front of the TV and, like, zone out all day long, like, would rather not have that, I'd rather go have fun.
Yeah.
But, like, I just care more about my kids know that everything that they watch has to have, like, a beginning, middle, and an end. Like, if you
Yeah.
can't tell me, like, the plot points of it throughout, then, like, you can't watch it.
Wow.
So that,
Okay.
like, kind of, like, cuts out I mean, and people watch whatever you want and whatever you
Right.
need to
Totally.
do,
No, tell
but
me more. That sounds so interesting. And like, because I just have an 18-month-old, so I
yeah.
haven't breached this territory yet. She watches Elmo and Magic School Bus, and that's about it.
No, and those are, like, really, really great options. But, yeah, like, I feel like especially with little kid shows, so many of them are just, like, these, like, bumbling messes that are just, like, a distraction in front of them, which, again, totally has their place, and that's
Right.
great, and if that's what your kid needs, totally do that.
Yeah.
But, at least, like, for us, like, I don't care about the quantity how much, I just really care about, like, the quality, and,
I
like, if
love that.
they're watching TV, I want it to at least be, like, stimulating their brain a little bit and
Yes.
just kinda,
Yes.
like, watch like, that it's,
And
like, a
also doing it
story.
together. Like you
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Twilight with Piper. She wasn't
Yes.
like in a dark room by herself watching,
Yeah.
Edward Cullen
And I mean, and if she wants to do that
desire
too,
that day.
I'll support it, as long as it's Twilight.
Same, yeah. I love that. Well, cool. Yes, I love that. That's an interesting question that you get a lot. That would make me a little nervous too, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just winging it.
Well, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely it comes down to, like, knowing your kid too. Like,
Yeah.
Augie, my 18-month-old, or however old he's older than a year and a half, I don't know. He's so into Toy Story right now. And, like, every time he sees me, like, with my phone out, because my phone is my remote, anytime he sees me,
Nice.
like, with my phone out anywhere near the TV, he starts going, "Woody, Woody,
Oh,
Woody."
that's so cute.
And I'm like, we've OD'd on Woody a
We've
little
OD'd
bit.
on Woody.
We need to
I feel that same way
maybe bring
on
this back.
Elmo. Like every time, like someone even mentions TV, or if the TV is on somewhere, she starts screaming, Elmo, Elmo, Elmo.
So
I
is
get
she
it.
only, like, does she only want Elmo on the screen, or has, like, Elmo become a facet of her life? Like, does she want the toys? Does she want
Yes, she has 2 toy Elmos that she sleeps with. And then, yeah,
I love
Elmo,
it.
she's got the Elmo toys. It's kind of cute. I like
No,
I'm
I've
obsessed with her little personality and that she's obsessed with Elmo. Like it's
I
pretty
really
cute.
I feel like I could categorize so many of, like, my life moments by the phase that my kids were in at the time.
Nice.
Like, Piper, she had a princess phase, but we, like, really like, our early COVID months were, like, really dedicated to the Muppets.
Oh, okay.
And, like, I feel like I'll always, like, look fondly upon the Muppets at that time because, like, our family got like, Piper was happy, so we, like, all went all in because we were, like,
Yes.
starving
Piper
for
is happy.
happiness.
Yes. Oh.
We're like, well, just because I mean, COVID shut
COVID.
down and whatever.
Mhm.
So it's really fun when kids get into it. I wanna,
Yeah.
like, always nurture that as much as I can.
Yeah. Cute. I love that. Okay, well, that answered kind of a lot of my questions, but let me see other ones that I have for you. Every mom is a superhero, I think. And I'd like to know, do you have a certain superhero? What am I thinking of? Power?
Like, superpower?
Yes, that you like. My mom's superhero power would be that I snatch things super fast. Like,
Mhm.
I'm really good at having like a sixth sense that something's about to
Oh,
like
yeah.
fall or something. Do you have a superpower?
Okay, my gut reaction
Yeah, tell
was
me.
to just say that I'm, like, a really good redirector. Like,
That is such a
it's
skill.
like,
That is such a skill.
especially with Rooney, with my 3-year-old, she is the cutest thing that I've ever seen, but she's also, like, she's such, like, a big personality. I think that me and her are, like, the same,
Yeah,
and she gets
which can cause
yeah,
issues.
and she gets
Yeah.
really, really frustrated, and she knows what she wants,
Mhm.
and she gets angry when she can't articulate it, or she like, even if she understands, like, the reasoning,
Yeah.
like, the reasoning doesn't matter to her. And so I think in the last, like, 18 months or so, I've really honed in on my redirection skills. And also just like rebranding. Like a couple
That's amazing.
Like-
It's a rebrand.
well, like
With the kids.
I've
That's
been
awesome.
trying hard for, for forever to try to like make my kids eat a vegetable would be nice. So I've been like trying to introduce dips and everything. They won't do it. So then I told them that ranch dressing was white ketchup recently.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then and they
nice.
did it. I mean, they didn't like the vegetable once it was but like at least we jumped a hurdle.
Right. Nice.
But
Good one.
just by
You got to do what you got to do.
just by lying.
I love it. That we have a weekly segment called Mom Confessionals, and that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
You told your kids that
yeah.
ranch was white ketchup. I
White
love
ketchup.
it. Okay, so some next ones. I think I know what this one is going to be, but I'd love to pick your brain, hear you. Anyway, what's your favorite family tradition or activity?
I feel like our family trips, like our annual trips, are like really, really sacred to me.
Mm.
Like I feel
Where do you go?
San Diego.
Every time?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like I was at a baby shower and somebody like asked for advice and I was like, honestly, being a mom sometimes like sucks and you need to have something on the calendar to like get you through. And having like annual, like the first weekend in June, no matter what, the Arndt family, like me,
Is
my
out
husband,
of
and my
town.
kids,
Yeah.
we are in La Jolla. Like we
Nice.
are doing
Oh, awesome.
like that stuff.
La Jolla is beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like, so I'm a fraud.
What?
It used to be La Jolla
Okay.
a long time ago. And then, like, the more kids we've had, like, the more kid-friendly places we've stayed.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's like a Carlsbad trip, which is still amazing.
Still amazing.
But
yeah,
La Jolla makes me sound like a little bit fancier. But
you're like,
But now we're at the Legoland Hotel.
I love it. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I'd say family tradition, probably just having
Love
something
that.
on the calendar, especially
That's a good tip too.
that trip.
Love it. Okay, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
And this question I kind of hate, but as a working mom, I also understand. Do you have any advice for a working mom? You work,
Mm-hmm.
you have the podcast, the Instagram, and you have 4 kids.
Yes.
Do you need a nap?
Always. I am often very tired and I feel
Mhm.
like I'm like kind of running around like trying to figure out how to get everything done.
Yeah.
I have like a really, really good husband, which like I know that's like not like a
Amazing.
hack and like that's not really like advice that you can
Kind of
like give
is a
out.
hack,
I mean, if
like,
you're
yeah.
unmarried, then like my hack is just to like marry a really good guy that's like always
That's
like
a
willing to
partner.
help.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think just like as much like setting out your objectives and your workload with your husband or your partner or whoever you're raising your kids with helps things so much. Like I feel like I was such a stress mess a couple
Yeah.
years ago when I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all in on I just want to chat. I like always just felt like, oh, I'm not doing enough and I'm like so burnt out with all the kids and everything. But kind of how my husband and I have like figured it out is like during the day, I work as much as I can. My kids are now in school. I have like the 2 littles at home.
Nice.
I do a bulk of my working when August is asleep and Rooney is awake, but she could watch a show, she
Yeah.
could play, she could do whatever. But then like once my husband comes home from work, he just kind of takes the kids for a
Nice.
little bit. And then whether I need to like decompress for a little or just like hop into work, because often that happens. Like I go to the movies like almost twice a week now
Yeah.
for like film reviews. And that always like takes place at night. So I don't know. I feel like the balance and like
Prioritize and get a good schedule.
yeah, and just like
Yeah.
prioritizing like what you need to. I don't know. I mean, I really value obviously my husband and his job
Yes.
and everything, but like once you can kind of like stand your ground and like I am not just a mom that like works.
Mhm.
I work and I'm a mom and I need to figure out how to like prioritize things. Like I feel like that doesn't make sense maybe, but
No, it totally does.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
My stuff is just as important as your stuff. Like,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And like even if it doesn't feel that way, sometimes like if it's important to you, even if it doesn't like bring in the same dollar amount,
Yeah.
you know, I think like moving from once I like changed my mentality to stop saying the word like side hustle for myself, like, oh yeah, then
yeah.
I like do this little thing on the side. Like, no, like what I do is like really important. Like,
Yes.
and even if it's not like monetary and stuff, even if like everybody needs an outlet.
Yeah.
And then so like your things are just as important as your partner's, and
Yeah.
then everything will kind of fall into place after that if you make.
Did you hear that thunder?
Yes. Tell me why I like looked outside as if I was gonna see like lightning striking down.
Oh my
That's not how that
gosh.
would work.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so just prioritizing what you want to prioritize.
Love it.
And also, like, with your kids too. Like, I mean, maybe this sounds mean, but like my kids, like, we just finished up summer break. I had to cut back on a lot because obviously, like, I had to be a mom.
Yeah.
But like my kids knew my boundaries too. Like my older
Yeah.
kids, like, hey, I'm working right now. Like, you need to go. I provided you with entertainment in the morning. You have
Mhm.
lunch. This is now chill time.
Yeah.
You can go do whatever you want. Right now, I'm working.
Nice.
So,
Very cool.
but of course, that doesn't work when you have toddlers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty
toddlers
rough.
aren't great at boundary keeping. It's kind of weird, but
It's almost like they hear a boundary and
it's a challenge for
it's a
them.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in that stage right now.
Oh my goodness.
But great advice, though. I love that. And I have a good partner too. And it really is that like communicating of like we're both equal and providing equal things to the family. And yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. It is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Okay.
We're talking what to watch after the kids are in bed with Mary Arndt. Did you like that?
Yes, I love it.
Good.
'Cause
Okay.
I love this
Ready?
this topic.
Yes.
Okay.
Take us away.
All right. So, I mean, there's one thing I'll preach until the day I die is much like you need to have a trip on the calendar,
Yeah.
you have to have something in your day that you're looking forward to, or else your days are going to be long.
Yep.
You need to have something.
Yeah.
And often that really is a show. I feel like there have been certain times in my marriage where kids are crazy. And again, I had like 4 kids in 6 years. All of my pregnancies were high risk and very, very
Oh my
stressful.
gosh. Yeah.
And everything was like really, really messy. And like there have been times where I didn't feel like as connected to my husband or my life, even like I didn't feel connected to my body. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm just trying to articulate that times have been tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Right. No,
I'm
no, I
sorry.
mean, like, things
Yeah.
are fine, but having, like, a show, like,
Mhm.
knowing that at night, the kids are gonna go to bed, and I'm just gonna get to go hang out on my couch and,
Mhm.
like
Decompress.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
decompress and, like, have something to look forward to, and that only works if the shows that you're watching are good.
Yes.
A endless Netflix scroll of what should we watch will not hit the same
Mm-mm.
as something that you're binging together.
Mm-mm.
So, like, and there have really been times where,
And
like,
she's
my
here to solve that
where,
problem,
like, my husband and
folks.
I have, like,
Yeah.
reconnected in that way. So, like, one long journey that I recommend everyone take is Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
And I'm not reinventing the wheel here. That
Right.
show is a hit because it's a hit.
Right.
It hits all of the markers for, like, a great after the kids go to bed show.
I'm writing these down.
It's
So first, Grey's Anatomy.
it's a crowd pleaser. It's not just like a silly romance that you'll like and your husband will roll your eyes at. There's enough action, there's enough stuff going on, there's enough drama in every episode. And yes, the plot lines go through. You can't just watch a show like one and done. But there's enough where you can kind of like hop in and out of it. And if you fall asleep while you're on the couch, it's not going to be the end of the world.
You can rewind.
Well, not even rewind, but like you'll be able to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like that's kind of the key for like a perfect binge watching show.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Because
totally.
then also you don't have any of that resentment of my husband watched forward
Yeah.
after I like just watched our kids all day and then I like got tired and I fell asleep on the couch because I've had that before where I'm like
This is amazing.
I missed plot points.
Right.
And I'm like, what just happened and why didn't you just pause the freaking TV? I only was caring for your children.
Yes.
You know?
Come on,
So anyway,
man.
So Grey's Anatomy
Number 1
is a great one.
Love it.
And then like if we're talking like newer shows, I mean, I need everyone to watch Succession. It depends on your capacity for listening to swears. And it's unfortunately not one that like a TV filtering service can really help you out with because the show would just be mute probably if you were like censoring out the F words. But if you could handle them, there's little to no sex in the show just because like the plot literally doesn't have time for it. Like
Right.
they'll like say like sexual like comments and like innuendo and stuff to each other, but very little sex scenes. But if you could watch Succession, it's 4 seasons, so you can get it done in, you know, a normal-ish amount of time. That was the only bummer about Grey's Anatomy is like it became kind of a burden towards I made it to like season 9, I think.
Isn't there like 40 or something?
I think
20?
I think there's 20. And a lot of my watching was while I was on bed rest with August.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I feel like I was watching so much of it. And then finally I was like, all right, that's enough of this.
That's
But
enough of this.
Succession is a great one.
Okay.
Outlander.
Outlander. Okay.
I will say a couple trigger warnings for it.
Okay.
Don't watch it if you're pregnant
Okay.
because there's infant loss.
Ooh.
And maybe not even like if you have like a little newborn or if you're just like an anxious person in general because the show like gets intense.
That's so good
that
to know. That
but
is
that
so good to
show
know, especially for moms.
but like my husband and I watched that together and that was also like a great romance and action. Like there was like enough like history action stuff that like kept my husband really, really engaged. And then like I was so in it for the love story.
Nice.
So again, it's hard to handle sometimes, but other than that, it's like kind of like a crowd pleaser.
Okay,
I
I
like
gotta
that.
add this to my list. Sorry.
Some like slept on shows that like I really love are Master of None. So Master of None is very slept on, but season 1 and season 2 are masterpieces.
Okay.
It is so good. Might not be for everybody. If you're not feeling it in the first couple episodes, maybe find a different show.
What would you caveat? Like, who would not like it?
I feel like sometimes people just don't vibe with like the ideas presented in it because each like episode kind of like tackles like a subject. And
Oh,
tackle
okay.
makes it sound like an after school special and it's not like that, but
Yeah.
it does kind of have that vibe of like, hey, we're going to like have a whole episode highlighting like how people's lives change with kids. Like when they have kids. So it's
Okay.
like these people who like
Is it a
are-
documentary?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
Aziz Ansari, so it's hilarious.
Oh, I love
and
Aziz.
he wrote it.
Okay.
But then like every episode, like one episode is about like your parents. Like as you grow older, like what's your obligation to like do
Oh,
stuff for your parents all the time and like live up to their expectations even though you're like
an
in your
adult.
30s, you
Oh
know?
my gosh. Wow, that sounds really good.
Yeah, like so every episode kind of has like a idea.
So you said Master of
Master of
None.
None.
Season 1 and season 2 are masterpieces. Is what you
Yes.
said. Okay.
Season 3 is like a different show. Like I wish that they would have
Okay.
rebranded it as like something different. It
Okay.
doesn't have all the same people. And that season just tackles like a same-sex couple's like not adventure, but like their journey on IVF
Oh,
and like
okay.
trying to like conceive and stuff. So the whole season is like about that one subject.
Oh, gotcha.
Where the other one, like it's more like episodic and,
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
and stuff like that. But
Very
that's
cool.
again another like if you guys are both driving with the ideas presented, great
Love it.
funny show.
Okay. Next.
Next. Just like some like Spitfire ones.
Yeah.
Dark Matter on Apple TV. That's a new one. It's really, really good.
Is that with Liam or no?
That
is it?
one has who is it? Joel Edgerton, I think.
Okay.
And
I don't know how that is.
what is her name? Jennifer Connelly is the female
Okay.
star in it. Also, like Apple TV, you'll never know it because they don't advertise their shows well, but they have Shrinking, which is one of my favorite shows
So
that I've
good.
seen in
I
a
love
long
that.
time. My husband didn't love it as much, but I really loved
Season
it.
2 is coming.
Yes.
Oh,
in
of course
October.
you know that.
I'm so excited. Counting down the minutes.
Who am I talking to? Okay.
They have Masters of Air, which is kind of more dude focused, but I really enjoyed it. They have Severance, which I know is like really, really bingeable. I didn't super get into it, but I know a lot of people really, really love it.
Oh, okay.
Presumed Innocent is a new one that they have.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I was like in and out of it the whole
Okay.
time, and you can't really be in and out of that show.
Yeah.
It was just very like dark, both like literally, like they needed
Yeah.
more light bulbs on that set, and dark as in like
Content was
yeah.
dark. Yeah.
But yeah, so those are some good ones. On Netflix, they had The Brother Sun. Brother S-U-N. So Brother Sun. That was a good show. That will be like a quick binge. That's just one season. What else on Netflix? They have a lot of really good ones, but I say just find a series and just really, really commit to it. And
Yeah.
then like that is your thing
Right.
for this little phase of life.
Nice. What are your recommendations for like light, happy, fun TV?
I've recently just discovered it. Jane the Virgin.
You discovered it. Congratulations.
I know that the show is old. It ended 5 years ago, but after watching It Ends With Us, I fell in love with Justin Baldoni, and then I was like, I need to
have
watch
to watch
everything
it.
he's ever done.
See, I watched him in Jane the Virgin first, and I was like, interesting. I wonder how, because I read the book, and so I'm like, I wonder how he will do in that. He did great.
Yeah. I think he did really great.
Yeah.
So that show is ridiculous, really fun, just like turn your mind off.
It's like soap opera-y,
Yeah.
which is fun.
And then so like kind of along those lines, I always want to convince people to watch True Blood. It's on HBO, and it is also soap opera-y. Like
Really?
the things the things that happen in that show, it's like constant drama, but it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where it's crazy. It won't be for everyone. It gets really explicit and sometimes, but I do think that a filtering service would clean it up.
Do you have a filtering service you recommend?
Yeah,
or-
so I'm a VidAngel ride or die.
Oh, okay, VidAngel.
I love VidAngel. We've used it for years. It's a really, really good service, and they do a really good job because I've seen other filtering services, and it's not like as seamless as that one. So
Right.
anyway, shameless
Okay.
plug. You could use my code Wanna Chat for 2 weeks off if you
she
if-
has a code, everyone.
if you
Wanna
want.
chat.
Sorry, I don't know if
no,
that's
I love
allowed,
that. Yes,
but-
please.
Anyway, VidAngel does like a really, really good job. But True Blood, I think like if my husband has never really liked it. I've tried to show it to him.
Mm.
But that show, it's like a beach read. It's like
I love that.
everything is ridiculous. Like the concept is that vampires have like always existed, but they just invented this like synthetic blood.
Oh,
So now the vampires just like kind of like live amongst the humans.
okay.
Because like now they don't have to like hide anymore because like they're not killing people.
Right.
Like they have synthetic blood now. Like so they're not like a danger. So they just like live amongst the people. Like the things that they explore in that show are really good. The romance is really, really good. That show has total insane throwaway seasons.
Oh, okay.
But the highs are worth the lows. It's one of the
Really?
only
Okay.
shows I could think of.
Is it like Arrested Development where
Yeah.
the first 3 are amazing? And
Yeah. But like this one, it's more of like every other.
Really?
So like,
That's so weird.
so it's like you have to.
Different directors or what?
Just different weird ideas and focuses. And then
Okay.
also what's kind of cool about True Blood is there are like plot lines in the show and most of them are like self-contained. Like sometime around like season 3 or 4, they introduced these were-panthers. I knew I was out on the were-panthers like immediately. And
Like a werewolf panther?
yeah.
Okay.
And the storylines don't really touch. So I knew I was out on the were-panthers. So I
Right.
was just fast forwarding through those ones. And then like sometimes I'd be like momentarily confused and I'd watch the next like previously on and I'm like done. So if you're not vibing with a plot line on True Blood and it's not like the main 3 people, then just fast forward through it.
What is your opinion on when people say the show is so good, but the first 3 seasons suck? Like you have to get into it. Like, what do you think about that?
I go both ways because nothing irritates me more. First of all,
Okay.
just make your shows good.
Yes, for sure.
But there are some shows where it really does warrant it. And like, and when you know, if you're ever like interested in pop culture and like media production and that kind of stuff, it's kind of interesting to learn how like pilots are made and then sold to different studios and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Once you kind of realize like most people, when they make a pilot for TV, they want to be purchased by HBO.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's like everybody's goal.
Yeah. Like they
Wow,
want
I
to be
didn't know
purchased
that.
by HBO or like one of these prestige TV networks. So they will make their pilots as raunchy and like crazy as possible to kind of show them how far they're willing to go. For
That's
example,
good info to know.
there's like boobs in the first episode of Breaking Bad, then you never see them throughout the rest.
Yes.
You never see them throughout
That's
the rest
true.
of the show. So I would say if you're like looking to like judge content ever, never judge it on the first episode.
Oh, that's such good
ever.
advice.
But yeah, some shows you just do have to kind of stick around with. Succession, which again, one of my favorites ever. You gotta let it keep going. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, until like episode 6. If you don't like it after episode 6, you may bow out. I'll allow that. But before
Okay.
that, but like they didn't even, when you watch like the pilot of Succession, it's really funny because the characters, like they have like plot lines that don't even pan out. Like one of the guys in the pilot has like a wife and kids. And then in the next episode, they're just like, he's single and he's a virgin. Like,
What?
and you're just kind of like,
What?
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So there's that.
It's changing. Okay. Should we wrap up with a few more tips? Like I've been
Yeah.
loving these tips that you've been saying. Do you have any more for us? Like don't judge an episode or a series by the first episode.
I would say if you're like ever looking to get into movies, don't chase movie stars as much as you chase directors. One of the best ways I think like to get really into like movie watching is to find like a director that you really vibe with and then just kind of watch everything or like or a screenwriter.
I'm so new to like directors and screenwriters. How does one figure that out? Do I just look up at a movie and
Well, yeah, so
see-
like if you're liking
Okay.
a movie, kind of think about what you like about it and
Okay.
then look who was behind it. If you're watching a movie and you're like the dialogue in this movie is so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was written by like Aaron Sorkin. Let me like go watch all the other Aaron Sorkin movies.
Is he one of your
And then
faves?
Yeah, I mean, and he's probably like one of the most
One
famous.
of the biggest.
He wrote like The Social Network and
Oh,
and all
nice.
well, all the
Okay.
West Wing and that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
But like a couple years ago, I watched Gone Girl and I was like, okay. And I mean, and I had seen Gone Girl like many, many times, but
Right.
that's when I was like kind of really diving into the world of like film bros and
Okay,
like,
yes.
okay, I'm going to be like
Film bros.
film bros. Yeah. Like,
Keyword film, not movie.
yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be like a cinephile now. Like this is now my
Yes.
passion.
It's a cinephile.
Yeah. So then I just like watched everything that David Fincher had ever made
Nice.
because I knew that I vibed with one movie. So a lot of times like actors will take roles for
Whoever
money.
yeah.
Actors will take roles to move up their status.
Mhm.
Actors will take roles to kind of like cement their future with a studio because they know that they're going to get a different project that they actually want to be in 3 years from now.
Oh, okay.
So like following like an actor around that you like won't show you to as many things that you enjoy as like finding like a screenwriter or a director that you feel
Great.
really
Oh,
good about.
that's such good advice. Amazing.
Yep.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have
Anything else you want to leave us with?
just watch as much as you can. I don't know.
Thank you for doing the
really
work
love
that you
it.
do because honestly, like she is one of my favorite follows on Instagram.
I'm such
Ooh,
a martyr.
you really are. Like, thank you for watching 12 hours of TV a week so that
You're
we can have
welcome.
this.
I do it for you and you individually.
Really, it is my favorite. I like every week have to look at her what I watched this week and what
Oh,
you
gosh.
should watch this or what I watched last week, what you should watch this week post. It's so good. Mary, tell us where to find you.
Okay, so you can kind of find me everywhere. So I'm on TikTok at I Just Want to Chat Podcast, Instagram at I Just Want to Chat Podcast. And then the I Just Want to Chat Podcast is resuming at the end of August.
Amazing.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
We're going to have like video components this time. So
Ooh. Is that an exclusive?
that you heard it here first.
Oh, an exclusive, everyone.
Ha.
This is so exciting.
Very prestigious.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming
No,
on the
thank
podcast.
you for having
Thanks
me.
for sharing your knowledge. It's so funny. I was going to say this earlier. I feel like we're finally over the fear and the embarrassment of like, what are your hobbies? You're like, I watch Netflix. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
people would always be like, I watch Netflix, you know? But it's like, grow up. Like it is so
Yeah.
fun and it's like a part of culture and
Yeah.
we love that.
Yeah, and I feel like there's so much I don't wanna, like, sound like I'm getting on a high horse or anything, but I definitely have learned a lot more about the world and how the world works by
Yeah.
watching, like, diverse TV,
Yes.
diverse movies, just kind of, like
Opening your mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
just, like, putting aside anything that I thought before and just going into it. So anyway,
Love it.
everyone should watch more movies.
Everyone should watch more
It's
movies.
really fun.
Amen and amen.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. Don't forget to tune in next time. We love you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.